bringing you the latest Arizona high school football recruiting news year-round. This is the Recruiting Roundup on ProsToPreps.com.
It's time for the Roundup. Jason Jewell, Jared Cohen, we bring you the latest in Arizona high school football recruiting twice a week. This is the second one this week, and we're going to talk about two of the premier players in the 2014 class in football. That would be Jalen Brown and Casey Tucker, who both in the last week narrowed down their list. They had all sorts of different scholarships. The first one, Jason, Jalen Brown, 32 offers, now becomes 9. What are those 9?
Yeah, in alphabetical order, it's Arizona, Michigan State, Ohio State, Oregon and Oregon State, UCLA, USC, Vanderbilt, and Wisconsin. Now
talk about these, a lot of Pac-12, all Pac-12 and all Big Ten offers except for one SEC offer, that's Vanderbilt. Talk about how substantial this is, and is there a common link between the schools that he narrowed down?
Well, I know he visited the Midwest schools because he has a bunch of family in the Midwest, so that's why he visited those schools. But he's gone to most of these programs already. He knows what he wants. He knows what he's looking for. He's looking for a great education. He's a very good student. He's going to visit Vanderbilt in August. I expect a decision, right after that visit because he plans on graduating early and enrolling in January in school.
And he did keep an in-state school in the mix. That's U of A. Do you like his chances of them still being in the mix?
Well, his stepdad is Chuck Levy, who played down at U of A, so I would say definitely that the Wildcats are in the mix.
So that's Jalen Brown, narrowed down that list to 9. Now the next one, Casey Tucker, he was once committed to USC, reopened his commitment, picked up a few more offers since then, and now he's narrowed it down to, as Jason, you call it, like a tentative 5 or 6. What are those schools, and how much do you think that they're in the mix?
Yeah, I saw Casey last Saturday at the Surprise Big Man Challenge, and USC is still in the mix for him. ASU, Washington, Texas A&M, Stanford, and Oregon are the other schools that are in. And he told me he's still very open, though. That's why I call it a tentative 5 to 6 schools. He said things could change if another school comes in and offers him, or he could end up committing depending on how he feels. If he goes on an unofficial visit and really likes the school. He's, like I said, just completely wide open.
From a recruiting standpoint, Jason, you see a guy that's once committed to a school, but still is keeping them in the mix. You understand them wanting to see what else is out there, but the fact that he's still keeping them in the mix, does it help their chances of him going back there, or do you think that he's just kind of keeping them along?
Well, obviously, he liked the Trojans. They were one of his first offers actually to be committed before his junior season. So them still being in the mix, him naming them, in his top 5 to 6, it certainly doesn't hurt their chances. I would say if he really didn't want to go to USC, he wouldn't have even named him in this this group of finalists.
And Arizona State was in on him pretty quick too, and they're still very much in the mix. Is that a school that you could see him winding up at? Because we just saw recently a very talented player that was at Hamilton go to Auburn and Christian Westerman and now come back to ASU. Do you think that there's some sort of common trend there?
Yeah, not that it means a whole lot, but ASU was the first school out of Casey's mouth when I asked him if he did have a finalist, a group of finalists. So ASU is definitely in there. He said he really feels comfortable with the coaching staff. Being close to home, might end up being a factor for Casey.
So that's Casey Tucker's tentative top 5 or 6. So all very, very great schools. Same thing with Jalen Brown. Both are going to be playing some very, very high-level college football on Saturdays once all is done for their high school football careers. Until next week, that's Jason Jewell. That's not Jared Cohen. I'm Jared Cohen. That's Jason Jewell. We'll continue to bring you the latest in high school football recruiting on the Recruiting Roundup on ProsToPreps.com.